Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Searching for Players podcast, the podcast that has searched high and low for players. And today we successfully found 3 players, but we couldn't find a player 3. As always, I am David, player 1, and joining me, as almost always, Alina, player 2, and of course, everyone's fan favorite, Dallas, our resident non-gamer, player 4. Like I said, no player 3 this week. I guess we forgive him.
I guess so.
He had things.
Yeah.
Things.
Things and stuff. Stuff and things.
Yeah.
All right.
Could be games.
Could be.
Could be games. We'll have to see next time.
Yeah.
But speaking of games, what you been watching, what you been playing, we'll start off with David.
Oh, psyched you
it
out.
up. Switch it up there.
All right, so watching. I finally finished 7 Deadly Sins, the anime I've been watching on Netflix. It was pretty good. It does. I always hate using that term when watching anime, but it gets a little anime towards the end, where it's
What
like.
does that mean?
So, I like anime. I watch a lot. I own some, but a lot of anime, I feel like the endings either like to be super vague, or they all have the same. I'm drawing on this untapped power, and that will destroy the enemy, and that's kind of what 7 Deadly Sins was. It was that this inner power of a character that has never been seen in the entire series, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, they have this power that allows them to defeat the final villain or whatever. So it's a little, but I think there's supposed to be a season 2. It's not like the series is over, so they're going on their next adventure. If you look on Netflix, I think for a while it was called season 2, but they changed it. There was like an OVA, which is basically like a movie they make that they cut up into episodes that they released on Netflix, and they called it season 2. But really, at the end of season 1, there's this. Long story short, they're going to find something, and they're all leaving the town, and that's how it ends, and that's where season 2 is supposed to start. Well, this little video thing takes place in between the defeating of the boss and them leaving, and it's kind of like miscellaneous stuff they're up to in between those 2 scenes. So it's more just like
Filler
it's
episodes.
filler. Yeah. But overall, I would recommend it. It was pretty good. I like the characters. I don't know. It's interesting. The other thing that does bother me is there's some characters that die. Oh, they're all still alive at the end, which that always bothers me too. There's like a couple of characters that did die, but
Let him die.
right at a certain point, because it loses the impact when they're alive and
It's like, Captain America died 10th time.
right. Yeah, it's probably American comics have characters die and come back all the time, so it just loses the.
Makes me stop caring.
Right, exactly. So it's like make the stakes be real. Don't make them just all magically come back. One character came back to life with no explanation, and they're tiny. And they even say, "Wait, why are you tiny now?" And the character's like, "It's a mystery." And you're like, "Really? Come on." So those things bug me, but overall I liked it. The animation was good. The fight scenes and all that are good. So not too much of that just effect, actual like coordinated, fight scenes.
I'm seeing that a lot more
Yeah.
now, I think, in anime. And that's really nice.
Yeah. Instead of just like, the characters move so fast you don't know what's happening, but they're fighting and stuff. Yeah. The other thing, I finally saw Suicide Squad.
Oh, me too.
You did see it?
I did.
So I want to know what you thought.
Well, we're talking about you right now.
Okay, so what I maybe it's because I went into it with low expectations. Everybody's, saying not so good and
Are
stuff.
you going to say what I think you're going to say?
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Wow. Wait till we get to what you've been watching.
Now, my opinion, I like all the Marvel movies. Pretty much in my head, my rating system, they're all 8s or higher. I actually liked Man of Steel. I know some people didn't. I would actually give that one an 8. Not Justice League. Batman versus Superman, I would say that's like a 7. Suicide Squad, I might actually say it's a 7. Like I said, it's better than I thought. Now, maybe it's because I went into it with low expectations, so if I watch it a second time. Also, I saw the standard version. I haven't seen the director's cut that supposedly makes it a little bit better. It did have some issues. There's a lot of characters. They try to throw a lot of, almost like Batman versus Superman, they try to throw a lot of backstory for every character at you. I also felt like they were trying to cram as much music down your throat. Every time they would show a different character, it was like a new music piece would start, and it was all popular music or classic rock or whatever. But it was like half the budget of that movie had to be licensing these songs, because that was just. But I actually didn't know that much about the plot, like who they were fighting and all that. So that was kind of nice to go into that without having done all the research. But yeah, overall, I would say, in my opinion, it was okay. It just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, and I knew Batman made some cameos. I didn't realize Flash also made a cameo. Stuff like that's kind of fun, I guess. But so, I may track down the director's cut version just to see what the differences are. So,
Sure.
and I know a lot of people didn't like, at least I know from the trailers and stuff, we're not a fan of Jared Leto's Joker. Visually, I was not a fan, but how he played it, I actually liked it quite a bit. I was surprised that I liked the Joker as much as I did. So, and I also liked Harley Quinn more than I thought I would. Just because, again, I was a fan of her, like in the old Batman cartoon show and all that. So she actually did have a little bit of the accent, Mr. J, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, it was better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm interested to hear what you say, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back. Yeah.
And then as far as I've been playing, mostly Persona 5. This game is really good.
Oh, man.
It's really good. I know, you got to get into it so we can talk about it. If Player 3 was here, I know he's messed around with it a little bit. He's not quite as far as I am. One of my friends is obsessed with it. He's like 75 hours in already. Like, that's all he's been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good JRPG. The only reasons I would see you not liking it is if you don't like Japanese animation at all, or if you don't like turn-based combat systems, because it's not an action game. It's turn-based. You get to decide what you want to do. Each character goes a little more strategic, I guess. I have a few complaints, but let me tell you right now, like, my opinion, this game is like a 9.5. It's an awesome game. So my issues are small, but one thing that bothers me sometimes is the HUD is a little crowded, especially when you're in dungeons. It automatically puts this weird fuzzy border, and then it has like information in every corner, and then you can hit another button and it changes that information to something else. So it's like the screen feels a little cluttered.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you're in combat, the screen is cleaner because it just has like your stats and stuff across the bottom, and that's it. It's like I said, it's not a big deal, but it's slightly annoying. Yeah,
because in past games it was just like a map.
Right.
And that was it.
Right. And the fact that there's a button to bring up other info, I feel like some of the info that's always there could have been mapped to that, so it wasn't always on your screen. Like the calendar date is always in the corner, and it's like I don't need that at all times. Then there's a map, then there's like your character stats, then there's usually how long you have to complete this certain, like how many days are left to you miss your deadline and things like that. And it's just like some of that info doesn't need to be up all the time. So the other thing that kind of bothers me, I like RPGs when they have all this sort of stats and detail and all this stuff, which this has, but it hides most of it from you. So, for example, you have social skills in this game. So you have knowledge, guts, kindness, charm, all that kind of stuff that you can level up. And you do that by doing different activities, interacting with different characters, and you'll see like music notes pop out. So you see 3 music notes means you did really well. You got 3 points towards that attribute or whatever. But it doesn't tell you how many points you have or how many points you need to level it up to the next level or anything like that. You just have to kind of just try to get as much as you can and hope it levels up at some point. Like, it doesn't give you that info, and I wish it would.
That's what it's done for.
I know.
A while.
Yeah. And in some ways it almost feels like it streamlines it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's still doing it, so let me see it so I know, I only need 1 more point to level me up. Yeah, let me go ahead and go study in the library and get those extra knowledge points or whatever. So, because I think I've leveled up all my social skills except my knowledge. So, not a very smart character, apparently.
Yeah, I never like to go to the library and all that.
I know. I enjoy interacting with the characters more, learning about their backstories and stuff. So it's like, should I go study or should I go hang out with my buddy?
Yeah.
Find out more about him. And so, of course, But, I like it a lot. Like I said, I do like the learning more about the characters. It's interesting. I think I talked about this a little bit last time. They're not afraid to tackle more mature, I guess you could say, subjects. We're talking about suicide, teachers abusing students, adults taking advantage of kids, all this kind of stuff. I also feel like every adult is mean to you for no reason. Just because you're a kid, they're like, you don't know what you're doing. Stay out of trouble. Even the guy that's like taking care of you is always like giving you a hard time and stuff. So,
but isn't that what it's like being a teen?
It's all angsty and adults don't understand me. Yeah. But the adults really are jerks in this. So I'm like, well, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm loving this game.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I want you to play it so we can talk about it.
Dude, I want to play it so bad.
And Yeah, it's good. I think this will be an RPG I sit down. I'm gonna beat it because I've already put 20 plus hours into it. So
Good.
it's good stuff. The other thing I was gonna mention, I saw this. They are releasing the soundtrack, the entire soundtrack for Persona 5, for $175 on vinyl. It's gonna be 6 records, LPs, whatever they're called. It's supposed to be out in time for the holidays, and it's supposed to come with the MP3 downloads as well, so you get both the analog and the digital.
That's kind of cool.
And I think there's also it's either 150 or 100 version that only comes with 4 records instead of all 6. Like the other 2 are bonus or whatever. But I think it's I Am 8-Bit is putting it out. So if you go to their website, you can find it and pre-order it already. So
I finally got a record player.
Did you?
Yes.
I do not have one. So
That would be so neat.
and so of course it wouldn't be complete without the obligatory Overwatch mention. Played Overwatch just a little bit this week. The event is about to end, I think, tonight. You better get home and get on there. Or did I say tonight? Like, what is it, 9 in the morning or something like that is when they end on the next day. But, I just played that a little bit. I was trying to get achievements. They always add a couple achievements, for every event. So I was trying to get a couple of those before it ended. So that's basically all I've really been playing.
Q.
So that's me.
All right. Overwatch and Persona.
A lot of Persona, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Persona. A lot of Persona, a little bit of Overwatch.
Yeah.
All right. Alina, what have you been
Near. That's my thing now.
I'll have to work on that. It's like, near. Something like that. Yeah.
5 times is better than
5 times.
3 times.
It's one syllable. Overwatch is 2, so it's easier to do,
Yeah.
Anyway. So, Near.
Yes, back to
I
Neir.
have the first 4 endings.
Wow.
A, B, C, D.
Look at you.
I think there's another one, E. But I want to 100% the game before I try doing the E ending. And I think there's stuff you have to do anyway, like get all weapons and upgrade them all in order to do some bosses or something like that. Huh. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'll be working on for a while. But I think I want to maybe start Persona and then do side things in Neir at this point.
Right.
Because it's just a lot of grinding. It's really nice because once you get, I guess, the C and D ending, you can start chapter select. So when you start the game or any save point, you can pick a chapter. And it's really nice. It'll keep track of your quests. So every chapter you go to, it tells you these are the overall quests, how many you've done, completion with 2B, with 9S, or whatever. And so we can just go to that chapter, find the section, and be like, play that, go do that quest, get out.
Right.
And then go back somewhere else.
Yeah. I love it when games do that. It makes it so much easier to collect stuff or hunt everything down.
So Matt's in his second playthrough.
So he's finally played it now?
Yeah.
So you can play it when he's around now?
I can probably play some things.
Okay.
But I can't play like the last bit, like the third playthrough or whatever, any of that, because he's not there yet.
Okay.
But he was reading the stage play, and he's been doing all that back research, and he's like, oh yeah, well this happens, and I'm like, I feel like you're spoiling yourself, because they tell you that stuff in the game anyway.
Oh.
So I'm not really going to say anything. And he's always guessing stuff. He's like, I think this is happening, or this is happening. And I'm just like, And he's like, am I right? And I'm like, you don't even want to know if you're right. Why are you asking me? Like, I'm not going to tell you. I just have to, like, nod vaguely and hope he just, I don't know, doesn't read into my nodding or something. Like, I don't know. But he's having a good time, too. And I really want to watch him play it and, like, go through it, because I want to hear. He does more studying up on that kind of stuff, remembers things way better than I do. So it's exciting for me, because I can be like, yeah, like, what do you think about this part or this? And so that's cool. But there's these doors, like 4 doors or something like that don't go anywhere and you can't get into yet. So we're assuming like DLC later or something like that.
Right.
And I know that DLC is coming out in May this week. So we'll see with that. And he's done more side quests not more than I have, but like some ones that I didn't finish yet.
Right.
So I'm like watching them through his, and I'm like, no. So he's sort of spoiling me, and like I haven't gone that route yet. So.
Right.
But it's okay. That's pretty much it. I haven't been watching anything.
Just playing a lot of Neir.
Just playing a lot.
I know every time I'm on my PS4, I see you.
Yeah.
It's like my one buddy playing Persona, you on there playing Neir,
Yeah.
and then like Alex player 3 sometimes is, I don't know, he'll be playing something random.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and so I guess I'll mention that we got a PS4 Pro.
mhm.
Because why not? I don't know. He was just like, I'm gonna get it. Okay. So now we have that.
Does Neir take advantage of the Pro at all, or?
I don't know what it would take it. But he was playing it and he was like, oh, frame rate. It's just like, really? Fine. But even I still notice like a little bit of jumping and stuff. So I don't know. It's just like, whatever. But yeah, that's totally it. I have nothing else. Just working hard on Neir, that's all.
You're going to go home tonight and play one match of Overwatch to get... Did you even log in during this event at all? You should at least log in and get your one free box.
That's
Because they always give you one free box at the beginning.
Maybe I'll get all...
You'll get a box of 4 legendaries
Yeah.
somehow, magically. You never know.
So cool. No, I just get a bunch of sprays that I already have.
Which reminds me, after this, I need to get on, because at the very least, because I have gold saved up, and I spent some of it,
Oh.
but I was waiting to see what else I got,
Yeah.
so now I should spend the rest. So
Yeah.
run
Do
out
it.
of gold.
Do it.
Oh, and before we move on, I wanted to... have you ever played Heroes of the Storm?
No.
It's a MOBA on
Yeah.
PC by Blizzard, and all it is it's they come up with some ridiculous story, but it's basically all the characters from all their different games, not all, but a bunch of characters from all their different games put into one game, and they fight each other or whatever. Right now, you can unlock a special costume for Genji that will unlock it in Overwatch. They also have a special costume. I think that challenge starts this week for Diva. And it's like a security police officer
I
skin
saw
or whatever.
that.
I want that.
Now you're gonna start playing.
So I think I've already downloaded Heroes of the Storm. I haven't played it yet. And the trick is you have to complete the challenges, you have to play with a friend. And I have one other friend who plays Heroes of the Storm, so I can only play when he's on to earn credit towards the stuff. They did say that the Genji skin and the Diva skin and all the sprays and stuff that you can unlock will be in loot boxes eventually.
Okay.
So you will be able to just, if you don't have a PC or something, you can get them in regular Overwatch. But they're saying right now, if you want it earlier or whatever, you have to do it through Heroes of the Storm. So, but I don't mind stuff like that. I think it's kind of neat when you do something in one game, you can get extra. Blizzard's always kind of done that. Even when you pre-ordered Overwatch, even for the console, it gave me like something for Diablo, something for World of Warcraft, something for I think Heroes of the Storm, and StarCraft. Some of it was just profile pics, some of it was like little pets that were like Overwatch themed and stuff. I don't mind that, and then, of course it's smart because then it's like come
It's like,
play all our
hey,
games, you know. So.
Give us all your money.
Right. So,
Totally.
but anyways,
Cool.
so we go to Dallas.
Dallas.
What you've been watching and or playing?
So I have not jumped back into the dating sims.
I love hearing about your adventures, Dallas. Maybe you should check out a different one.
Yeah.
See what else is out there.
I do want to check out that stupid pigeon one.
Yes, go date some birds.
Birds.
No. You're a bird dating people, I think.
No, you're a human dating birds.
I'm a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's both. It's weird either way. Oh, I was going to make a terrible bird pun, but
I think you do every time.
I'm not going to go down that chicken coop.
Not the
No.
I was expecting something, but I was like, you can do better than that.
I've already used the pun I was going to use. Anyway, fine. Let's just move on. Yeah, so I have to go back. I need one that I can like pause.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told you not to do Mystic Messenger. I was like, why did you do this one? This is the one I told you not to do.
First of all, that's the only one I knew of because you told it to me.
Oh my god.
So I didn't know another game to download. I mean, yes, like they pull them up, but it didn't, in the search, it's like, this doesn't look. And then I read the description for Mystic Messenger, and I was like, oh, a secret society.
It's acting like that movie Skulls all up in here now.
Goodness. I was like, what? Where you fall in love and, You have, although it's described weird, if like pretty boy, you get to talk to pretty boys, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, that's another episode. But let's get into what I've been watching, which is not a whole lot. A lot of my chick shows, but I did watch the movie you were just talking about.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
See, that's how much I didn't like it.
I was gonna say, and your thought.
I didn't completely hate it. Not completely. Like it was fairly enjoyable. You know, loud, large, expansive fight scenes. I liked the gun work, especially with Deadshot, and I was like that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think of other positives.
I mean, like I liked Will Smith's character.
I see, like he needs his own movie. Like
He does. No, a lot of those characters need their own movie.
Oh, wait, let's pause. All of them need their own movie. Like if you're going to assemble this squad, like tell me their backstory. Like it would have been great if Harley Quinn had her own movie.
Instead of cramming it all into this.
Yeah, and they focused on her, a little bit. Well, more so than the others. It was like Deadshot, Harley Quinn. Not even the Joker that much.
Everybody else was kind of under that.
Yeah, like here and there.
Right.
Like their movies, their solo movies would be fantastic. Just based on the little snippets we saw.
Do you think they'll branch? Like do opposite Avengers and be like group movie first and then...
It's kind of what they did with Batman versus Superman, right? Because Wonder Woman's now getting her own movie after having been in that. Batman's supposed to get his own movie after having been in that. And we saw like Flash and Aquaman and all them. Granted, we're going to see them a lot more in Justice League. And some of those guys may get their own movies after Justice League. So they could do it with Suicide Squad.
First of all, if they don't make an Aquaman with Jason Momoa, they are missing out, okay? That's first things first. I mean, I guess that just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I guess if it was a better group movie,
because
and then you branch off and you're like, oh, here are your favorite characters. Like, choose your own adventure. See what I did there? I was just like, meh. And I actually did like Jared Leto's Joker. It's just he wasn't featured enough. Right? He was sinister and creepy and in love with, in a weird way, with Harley Quinn. But I mean, like, that's their story.
Right.
And I liked his Joker. It just wasn't enough.
I haven't seen the movie.
Honestly, that's how I would describe the movie. Like, there wasn't enough of anything.
Which is why I am curious about the director's cut. I haven't looked up to see what's different, but to see maybe that's what they've done. They've spent a little more time with all the characters. I don't know.
Yeah, makeup was cool. Costumes were cool.
It won an Oscar for makeup, right?
I think so. Sound effects were cool. I was not in love with the villain.
I mean, the villain was alright. Like I said, I didn't know what it was going to be, but...
I just felt like the whole storyline was rushed.
Yeah.
Just all of it rushed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my take on Suicide Squad. Honestly, like I can sit and watch movies. And I get bored when I pull out my phone and I'm just like, what's going on Facebook? Let me read the news. It's really bad if I'm reading the news during the movie.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because, I saw where it was going.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, crazy lady, water, it's at night. Why are all fight scenes at night?
So you don't have to see the actual choreography.
Yeah, makes it easier to hide mistakes.
I guess so.
Sad.
Well, but then you got one dude who's like literally light. He's fire. Whatever. I don't. And then
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, I did like, but this is in every Will Smith movie where he has a funny line, and you're like, ha, I like it. He brought some levity to the situation. But I mean, that's it.
I haven't seen Will Smith in anything in a while.
Really?
I haven't seen any of his movies in years.
Really? You're
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
He's acted in a lot of stuff.
I know he has, but I haven't seen them. I think the last thing I've seen is probably like I Am Legend or something. I swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I Am Legend was good.
Yeah, that's good.
I appreciate it now more than I did then. I still like the ending.
I actually haven't seen that one.
Oh, a predicted Batman Superman movie.
I did hear about that. There's like because it's in the future. There's a billboard about the movie
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. There's one scene that'll get you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh.
Yeah. 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 Alina's like, yeah, that one.
Something involving a dog.
Yes, David.
The movie's been out a long time.
David.
I've heard things. You know what I
David.
mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, I do. I should just rent it at some point, or
You should honestly.
Find it. It's probably on
come
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
That's how I rewatch it all the time. Chewing gum. Watching Chewing Gum. It's hilarious.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on
I don't
Netflix.
even know what that is.
It's about an awkward black girl.
Oh.
It's another awkward black girl
okay,
show.
Okay. I think maybe. I've heard
Yeah, she's this one she's British, and she's an immigrant, and it's the story is about she's practiced abstinence with her boyfriend, but now she's ready to not practice abstinence, and it's about her journey into that life.
Well, and did she live like a super sheltered life too, or something?
Super sheltered,
Yeah.
super religious. Yeah, it's really funny, but like as I guess it's the juxtaposition of like this super religious family and this young woman just living in today's society, right? But it's like super sexual. It's like sometimes like I'm in the second or third episode and I won't describe it, but like there are some props where you're like, wow. Like what?
Yeah.
It's not like a sexual show. It's just about like you journeying into your
Right.
first time
Right.
and how like you're just not
The
you meet these
awkwardness
weird
and-
dudes and or people whoever you're into, right? And it's just awkward and how she's trying to like look pretty and like it's like I love it. And, yeah, it's hilarious. But that's about it.
Okay.
Cool.
The end.
And y'all are both excited for Wonder Woman, right?
I am.
I have mild excitement.
And mild excitement. That should be a shirt.
Mild excitement.
Mild excitement. I think I really liked her appearance in
She
Batman
was
vs Superman.
The best part of that movie.
Yeah, she was. I think I told the story on the podcast, but I went to see Batman vs Superman with my dad, and like right when she came out in full Wonder Woman regalia, like both of us looked at each other and were like, yeah,
Aw, it's so nice.
Wonder Woman.
What a good moment.
Yeah, we didn't do that for Batman or Superman.
Yeah.
Like, go Dad. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, my hopes are always still high for DC superhero movies. So, and that Justice League trailer's out. We'll see.
I'm excited for that.
I mean, I want to be. It's like I want to be, but DC, why do you hurt me? Marvel's done it so well. Why
I
can't
love
you
you
just...
so much. I don't know why
Yeah.
you hurt me.
But yeah, we'll see. And like I said, I don't need DC to be like Marvel. They don't have to be all.
No, it's probably better that they
one-liners and
don't
stuff, right?
be like Marvel.
But I'm afraid they're just learning the wrong. I may have talked about this before. They're learning the wrong lessons in that they're like, oh, our movies are too dark. People don't like the dark. It's not that. I actually like the fact that they're darker. For me personally, it's the fact that they're, like we said, they're trying to cram too much, and it's like they're trying to catch up to what Marvel's doing. It's like, do your own thing. Take your time with it. It'll happen. You already have a fan base.
I think just go back to like the heart of the comics and of movie making. It's all about the story.
The heart of the cards.
The heart of the cards.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Figured
Sorry.
it would
Oh my
get it,
god, I'm
but-
so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you should have gotten that.
I'm sorry.
I have a pass.
So sorry.
Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah, like it's all about the story. If you just focus on story and on character development, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Keep it dark, keep it sinister, keep it adult, and then move forward. But just give me some meat on this plate of food, because right now all I have are sides, and I'm like looking for the main dish. Like, where is it?
I like that analogy. That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's
Thank
good.
you. I want to bite into something. I could keep this going, but stop me now.
All right. So today we don't have a whole lot to talk about, but we have a couple interesting things. So the theme for today is sort of companies that frustrate me. They make decisions time and time again that just don't seem to always make sense.
baffle
So,
you.
of course, we're starting with Nintendo.
Oh, I was gonna guess Nintendo.
Now, this in of itself, some people don't get this. I actually like this. Nintendo has announced a 2DS XL coming out July 28th, and it's $149.99.
I thought that was a joke.
The new
But-
2DS is what I should put.
But I had a feeling it was real
Mm-hmm.
when I saw it. And I was like, Matt, look at this. And he was like, that's not real. And I was like, pretty sure this is something stupid Nintendo would do. This just looks like a 3DS. I don't know what's happening here.
So, yeah, basically, it's just like, it's the same exact size as the new 3DS XL, which these names are getting ridiculous. Same size, same design. It has the flip screen, all that. They just took out the 3D functionality.
Oh, okay.
So it plays all the same games. There's just none of that 3D depth that you get from the 3DS screen. I guess the system itself is a little lighter because of that, but otherwise it's the same dimensions. Plays all the same games, same thing where it plays most of the old DS games. And then it has the amiibo functionality, so you can put your amiibos on there like for 3DS. One thing I thought was nice, it actually includes an AC adapter.
Oh,
On the
that's
official-
nice of you, Nintendo.
Yeah, on the official Nintendo website, it has like the new 2DS,
With
the new
AC.
3DS, and the old 2DS, and it lists all the features. And like the 3DS has all of them except for the AC
God.
adapter. So
Damn.
for someone like me who does not own a new 3DS
Yeah.
or 3DS or anything, I don't have a charger, so now I don't have to go out and buy a separate one. So. Which that's a question. That was always to me. That was a questionable decision by Nintendo not to include the charger with the system. You had to go out and buy a separate charger if you didn't already have one. And their reasoning was it saves us money, which we pass along to the consumer, because a lot of our people already have some version of our charger that will work with the new 3DS.
I call BS.
Yeah, no,
So
total.
It's like, I really want to sell my old 3DS, and I can't sell it with a charger because I need it
Right.
for my new 3DS.
Right. Because all the places like GameStop and stuff, they always require you to trade things in with the charger, and you're like, but I need that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would just sell it on eBay.
Yeah. But now you could, because you can get the 2DS and get
Yeah.
a charger with it.
Well, what? Why would I do
So
that?
basically, it's almost like, in a lot of ways, because do you use the 3D effect? much
Sometimes.
every once in a while?
Very rarely, but I do. I know, when you said that, I was like, that'd be so great. I would have just gotten a 2D.
Well, essentially, it feels like a $50 price cut to the existing hardware.
Yeah.
And except for someone who really is into the 3D.
I just bought one, and it's my Monster Hunter edition, so
Right.
why would I? No.
And that's you talk about the Monster Hunter edition. So right now, the only thing they revealed, it's like I think it's like a dark blue, maybe with like light blue highlights. I mean, it looks kind of cool in the system. Japan has that one. They've already announced like
Of course they do.
a yellow and gold one or something. And they've announced it's going to be $200, but it's a limited edition Dragon Quest DS that's going to release with Dragon Quest 11.
Okay.
It's this really nice color. It's like this metallic sheen to it because it's the metallic slime. And on the corner, you can see the metallic slime. You flip it open, it's got the metallic slime in the
That's
corner and
cute.
stuff. Actually looks really nice. Chances of that coming to the U.S., I think, are slim to none. So
I mean, Japan gets so many that we don't get.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's
they're region
they've-
free, so you could import it.
It's been surprising me, as far as like what we've been getting lately. So
Right.
it's kind of nice. Could be.
And I mean, I'll admit, I'm actually kind of tempted, but I'm one of the few people that doesn't have a 3DS
So
or a
you
new
don't
3DS.
have any hangups as to
Right.
should I get one and waste more money
Right,
on
right.
more Nintendo systems?
$150. It's
Yeah.
not too bad. So it is older hardware. It's been
Mhm.
out around for 7 years now or something. The 3DS. It's been a long
Oh
time.
yeah, it's been out for a while.
So, and I know the new 3DS, new 2DS has slight bump in power, right? Because there's a couple games that only work on those.
Oh, the new 3DS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Xenoblade Saga, whatever it's called and stuff.
But that's like seems to be one of the only games I've seen so far.
Yeah, I think
that
I've read
even
somewhere there's like
have-
2 or 3 that you have to
So
have. Yeah. But yeah, and then
Stupid.
again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Nintendo Mini, right? Nintendo decided to stop production. I've seen a couple things. One, somebody at Nintendo said something about the reason they're stopping is because they're having a hard time getting their hands on all the necessary components to build these and maintain the profitability of them. So it's like they'd have to pay a lot more to start getting these rare pieces they need to build them, and it's going to make the cost go. I don't know. And then the other thing, the rumor is there's a strong rumor that they are going to be releasing a Super Nintendo Mini in time for the holidays. So
pre-order that.
Yeah, pre-order that now.
I might actually pre-order. I would love a lot of Super Nintendo games. So.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if it happens. But it sounds like the rumors are strong, and then we'll see what the game list is when they announce it. If it's another 30 games, and if they're good or whatever. So, I'm sure you'll get your Super Mario World. Like, what games would you want to see? Since you just said there's a whole bunch of games you want on Super Nintendo.
I was actually a big fan of like all the Disney games back then, but they're Disney, so I don't know if they.
Yeah, it would be weird because Capcom made them, but Disney would own the rights to them, so there'd have to be a weird licensing thing with Capcom and Disney now, like Lion King, Aladdin.
I loved all of those. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see they just released something called the Disney Afternoon Collection?
No.
It's on. I think it's on PS3, not PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But it's all the old, not Super Nintendo, but Nintendo Disney games. So the old DuckTales, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, like those old school. And they called it the Disney Afternoon Collection. So I forget how. I think it's $20 for like 6 games or something.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're not remastered or anything. I mean, they're the old school 8-bit. But they run fine on your new systems. So
I guess I'd probably save the Zelda ones too, because I never really played the Super Nintendo ones.
Link to the Past, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Super Castlevania would be cool. Super Castlevania 4, that was always one of my favorites.
I want to say like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasies, but
it could happen.
I don't know.
It could happen, you know.
The ones I want are probably the ones that are like not gonna make it. Now that I think about it, I don't know.
Yeah, JRPGs were coming into their
heyday.
Yeah, and Super Nintendo. So.
Yep.
What about you, Dallas?
You know the Super XL.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? Swing and a miss, but it was a good try, Dallas. Good try.
Thanks.
And it's interesting though that they're coming out with another new handheld that new with quotation marks when they have the Switch, because the Switch in theory is becoming their new handheld and home.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much do you think it really makes cost them to do this? They're essentially recreating the 3DS, taking out the 3D feature, and repackaging it.
I mean, they must have seen some sort of profitability with 2D, and I've seen so many kids with 2DSs, and like even though I hate that design, I think it's stupid.
So the original 2DS was, the 3DS you can open and close, the clamshell design to call it. The original 2DS was like a flat, harder, thick piece of plastic with the 2 screens, but it was like one solid piece. You couldn't close it or anything. And I think the idea was it was pretty durable, so it was harder for kids to like snap it in half and stuff like that. So maybe too, they're thinking the kids that all have those now they can upgrade to this. Now they're older, they can get their better care of their stuff, whatever. Upgrade your kids to this for the holidays. I don't know. Like I said, this comes out at the end of July. Which is a shame because I'm going to be traveling a lot in July, but it'll come out after I'm done traveling. So no reason there.
I did want to say my friend came in from out of town, and he has a Switch, and he was like, "Yeah, I played Zelda on the plane over here. It was great." He's like, "I love the systems." I was like, "You were living the dream. You were living the Switch commercial dream."
Yeah, everybody I've talked to that has one has yet to like travel with it. Yeah. So. Be interesting to see what they think.
So he was super pumped about it, so that's good. I'm glad he's enjoying it.
I guess the battery life is good.
I guess so. It must be. I mean,
I've heard the battery life at its best is like 6.5 hours. So with a game like Zelda, I've heard it's between 2 and 3, which I mean most plane flights are around 3 hours. So I mean,
unless you're going like across.
Well, yeah, international flights or something.
Well, even across.
Plus, you gotta have time for peanuts.
Yeah. Gotta take a break. Yeah. Peanuts.
Some of those in-flight beverages, if you know what I'm talking about.
Even just peanuts, it's just like hungry.
Yeah, we're recording this while we're hungry, which is a la the food analogy I had earlier.
Okay, what's next?
So another company.
Hurry up, let's get to food.
So this was this is not an announcement. This is a rumor. Another company that's always kind of frustrated me, Capcom. We'll get into why in a minute. But the rumor is, and I don't always like rumors, but it always seems like whenever there's a rumor linked through a retailer site or a ratings board, that they wind up being true because they have information beforehand and then they accidentally let it slip or whatever. But Mega Man Legacy Collection number 2, which would collect Mega Man 7, 8, 9, and 10 in a nice HD remastered package. They already came out with Mega Man 1 through 6 in a collection. Now they're releasing 7 through 10 in a collection. This was leaked by the Korean ratings board. So, of course, nowadays, if something leaks in another country, thanks to the internet, everybody knows. So this is probably true, and it would make sense. And let me start by saying this bothers me specifically because I remember Mega Man, the Legacy Collection came out. And I would have been interested in buying it if it was Mega Man 1 through 10. I already own Mega Man 1 through 8 collection on PS2, and I already own Mega Man 9 and 10 on 360 and PS3. So really those two don't even need to be remastered. I mean, they were newer titles done in the old school style. But I was like, I forget how much the game came out at, but I was like, for that price, give me all the games. You really only have to remaster 1 through 8. You don't have to mess with 9 and 10. And they were like, gave this whole excuse. And it is a nice collection. There's background, there's art, all this extra stuff that comes with it for 1 through 6. But I was just like, so to me, this just feels like an opportunity for them to make more money. Like they did them all together and then split it up and released them as 2 collections. Kind of like, when these movie companies start releasing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Right, yeah.
Or Hunger Games, the final chapter, Part 1. It's like to help extend that franchise longer just to make more money.
Or The Hobbit in 3 movies.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this feels like to me. Now, this would be the sort of thing I might pick up digitally when it's on sale for like $5. To me, that'd be worth it. But I'm sure it's going to come out at least $20. And I can't justify it. And this is what bugs me about Capcom. They do this all the time. I mean, Capcom has done this for years. This is nothing new. They come out with Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 3 EX, Street Fighter, et cetera, et cetera. And they come out with the same. And to a certain extent, I get that because before you could just download an update to your game, fighting games had balance issues. So to fix those, it's like they had to release a whole nother game. But it was still a cash-in. I mean, it was still... And Capcom, of all the companies, super big on remastering their old games.
And now, like, in this time, I don't know how true it is, I guess, for consoles, but, like, there's patches now.
You're right.
And it's just like, why do you need to release a whole nother game? Like, you could just patch it.
Right. And in theory, that's what they're doing with Street Fighter V. All the characters are downloadable. They patch it and fix the different balance issues. Yeah. But even with Street Fighter 4, they could have done that on 360, PS3, but they kept releasing Arcade Edition and Ultra Edition and all that. And that's what, and like I said, that's what bothers me. They keep releasing these HD collections of old games, which, okay, if you've never played them, you're that new generation coming into games. That's great. But, I've got Mega Man right here. They haven't made an actual new Mega Man game in years, and like fans are like clamoring for it. I mean, they would sell it, and it could be any. And there's a bunch of different Mega Man universes, but it could be any Mega Man game: Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends, whatever. They could release a brand new game in that series and do well, and Capcom just keeps. And even like Street Fighter V comes out, and they totally botched that release. The servers weren't working. The story mode will be added later. It's like all these sort of little things. Even stuff they do now, like I've talked about it before, where you can get the fight money and buy things in game. But not everything. They said, you can buy with fight money. You don't have to use real money. But not everything you can buy with fight money. Some of it you have to buy with real money if you want it. They don't give you the option to earn enough fight money and stuff. And just little things like that, I feel like... I don't know. Capcom is definitely... I mean, they're making money, so they stay around. I guess that's good, but it's like... I don't know. Give us new... we haven't had a new Devil May Cry in a while. We haven't had a new Mega Man in forever. I don't know. It's just, like I said, that it's one of those things that kind of bothers me.
Gets under your skin.
A little bit. It's just annoying. And Capcom has a lot of great franchises.
Yeah.
And I just feel like...
sitting on them.
Yeah. Either they're mishandling them or they're just not doing anything with them.
Wait, so what bothers you more? The fact that they're not utilizing some of these characters that are beloved, or the fact that they just keep re-releasing, for instance, Street Fighter?
probably more bothered by the lack of new stuff based on their existing characters. Yeah, because like I said, there is some merit to releasing their old games HD. Like I said, people who've never had the chance to play them. But for me, it's like, do I really want to buy Mega Man for the umpteenth? I mean, I had owned some of these on PS1 back in the day, some of the old Super Nintendo, whatever. Then I bought them on the collection on PS2. Now you want me to buy the collection again. It's an HD, so it's like, is that worth it? I don't know. But yeah, I think personally it bothers me more when they're not utilizing this stable of characters they have, and they're just kind of sitting there with it. So, I don't know. Like, and they can make good stuff. Marvel vs. Capcom games are usually really good. The new one's coming out in September. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
What about you? Does Capcom and their antics bother you?
Not as much as like Nintendo, but Capcom does stuff like that with the Street Fighter stuff. Like, I don't play Street Fighter, but at the same time, I'm like, why? Why do they keep doing this? Like, it's so frustrating. Even just from an outsider standpoint, it's just like, this doesn't make any sense to, like, do this to your customers or your fan base or, like, whatever. Right. Like, it just seems like you're just ringing them whatever.
Is there a company specifically that bothers you?
Bothers me.
More than Nintendo.
More than Nintendo.
I am tired
Nintendos.
and hungry. Darn it! More than Nintendo, or equal to Nintendo.
I think I'd really have to think about it. But Nintendo is probably.
It's the one. But you play a lot of Nintendo stuff, right? No,
not as much lately. And I actually play a lot of Nintendo franchises. So I don't play Mario, I don't play Kirby, I don't play Zelda, I don't play any of the main big ones because I don't know if they just I'm not good at Mario, so I've never like gone into that, and like Zelda I just never really got into either, and I don't know, a lot of those like I never gelled with them, so it's like all the main franchises of Nintendo I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm not into them. It's really what comes out on the system from third parties. So, like, I mean, Monster Hunter came out on that. Story of Seasons came out on that. And, like, I have a bunch of Nintendo games. Pokemon, now. Okay. But that's probably the only one that I've ever, like, get super excited for.
Okay. Because I think I remember seeing you several times play your DS, 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I play the DS because the games I wanted to play are on it, but none of them are actual like Nintendo titles. Games, yeah. So I don't know.
Another company sometimes, and you maybe agree with this, Konami.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Konami, but I'm just like, well, Konami technically doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, they're kind of, I don't know what if they're. I mean, they are still making games, but it's like
we'll see what happens.
Because they're another one. They have the Castlevania series, and they're not doing anything with that. It's like you could do some good. There was a period where they actually came out with some good Castlevania games, like on the DS and stuff. There were some really good 2D Castlevanias, but
Silent Hill.
I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, Metal Gear. I feel like. Maybe it's run its course now.
Well, and I think Konami's about to run it into the ground.
So unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there could be a lot of good Silent Hill story stuff, and there just isn't anything lately. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe Silent Hill's done too. Like, maybe they've gotten everything out of. I don't know.
We'll see. It could be one of those situations. Not that I'm like rooting for Konami to collapse, but like if they're imploding, then they're going to sell all the properties off. Then someone else could do something interesting with them. So, I mean, and I will say this because I was bashing Capcom. Like Capcom will listen at a certain point, and if the result is Resident Evil 7, right? Everybody hated Resident Evil 6. They actually listened to that, so they went a totally different direction with Resident Evil 7. Made something very different and very good, and people love that. Yeah.
Which I can't play because I'm too much of a wuss. But.
So I mean, sometimes these companies can, step up and help, and actually, if they listen to the fans, and
And I think with like social media and all that kind of more now, I think they kind of have to. But at the same time, it's like I think it's getting into the cycle of they're not making any new titles.
Right.
No one's making anything new. in movies or video games, to be
Right.
totally honest. Like, it's all just
Right. Well,
reruns.
it's Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
It's the 7th, and never mind
Right.
all the spin-offs.
So, I don't know, like, I want to see more original title stuff. I'm tired of seeing, everything.
Same old, same old.
Yeah. Just in all media, not even just video games, like I said, the movies and all that stuff. Like, I'm tired of it.
Mm.
So, meh.
You said there was a third company.
Did
Did you
I?
say there were 3 companies that got under your skin?
I mean, Nintendo, Capcom, and I guess Konami would be
Konami's
the other
the
one
third
right
one?
now. Yeah.
Mm.
Which I know are all Japanese companies.
All
I
right.
think that's
Are there any
just,
companies you love?
I love Blizzard. I really do like Blizzard just because of the way they do interact with their community, and they're like, I mean, I paid $60. It was probably a little less because of Amazon, but I paid $60 for Overwatch. I've never put another dime into that, but they have constantly been updating it and refining it and adding things to it.
That's true.
And I mean, that game has lasted me over a year now, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? So
And you're
it's
still
just-
excited to go back
yeah,
and play
I
it.
still enjoy playing it. We'll see once Injustice 2 comes out how much time I'm spending on Overwatch still. That may become my new sort of multiplayer game. But, yeah. So, I mean, Blizzard's really good about it. They do that with a lot of their games. Warcraft, they're always adding little things. Heroes of the Storm is a free-to-play, you pay what you want kind of game. And, I don't know, they have a lot of options and stuff. So, and granted, yes, I know Blizzard is no longer its own thing. It's owned by Activision, which is owned by somebody else, and it kind of goes up. But as far as Blizzard still being able to do their own thing, seems good. So
You?
I don't know. I mean, I wanted to say like Platinum just because Neir came out really well, and I'm glad that they've done their thing. And I don't know. I don't know if I have a.
I say I like
favorite
Platinum,
right
but I
now.
feel like they're so hit or miss.
Oh yeah.
Like Neir was a hit. Things like Bayonetta are a hit, but then things like what did they do? The Avatar game,
Oh yeah.
Avatar: Legend of Korra or something. And then that Turtles game, I think they did that.
Oh, that's right.
And that's
Yeah.
already been delisted because I think they lost the rights to it or something,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that good. And then the Transformers game was somewhere in the middle, like it was decent, but not. So I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Like they make some really good stuff, some crappy stuff, and some in the middle stuff. But anyway, sorry.
No, I don't know.
I like Atlas.
Yeah.
They do good stuff.
Yeah.
Even if they're not always creating it, they're always
Right.
bringing it to the U.S. and stuff.
Yeah, that's
so.
always really, really nice. I appreciate that. What's the other one? Nisa, what is...
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You know what I mean, but I
Yeah.
can't even think of what... They're pretty good too. That's as far as also like bringing stuff. They've brought a lot of... I mean, a lot of it's kind of... very niche, I guess. kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
they bring
But-
some of the more like obscure things from Japan
Yeah.
to the U.S. for
Yeah.
us and stuff. Yeah,
So, I don't know. I appreciate that too.
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And it's not that I want any of these companies to be bad. It's
Right.
just certain things they're
100%.
doing. It's just like,
It's just frustrating.
so, yeah.
It's like, not like you want them to collapse or anything. Like, you want
Right.
it to be a good relationship between them
Right,
and
yeah,
their
yeah.
fans. And
They have these characters and these properties. It's like, just do something cool
yeah,
with them.
do something.
I want you to be
please.
successful. Entertain me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So that pretty much is it today.
Yay.
It's not a whole lot. I know y'all are hungry and tired,
Ho,
so. Yeah. So I think that'll do it.
Cool.
Wraps up podcast. Technically, we're filming this in April, but it will be released in May. We're already into May of
God,
2017.
Get me out of here.
Year is moving fast.
It is. Yeah. It's
May the
supposed-
4th is coming up.
Yeah, May the 4th.
So
be
get
with
your
you.
Star Wars
Nah.
celebration ready.
Nah.
What?
Ooh, Alina. We're going to make you come over and we're going to marathon all. How many movies are there now? 8?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why? I've seen them all. I have to see
But
them
not
again.
in a row.
You do have to. You have to watch them. You have to watch them again, in a row. Oh my God! So small story. We did a gangster movie marathon. Oh, that was a long. That was a long marathon.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God! What did we watched? The Godfather.
Goodfellas.
One and
Goodfellas.
two.
No, we didn't watch
No,
two.
We
you
didn't watch
watched
2.
two? Oh, okay.
No, we just watched Godfather 1.
Man, that was a
Untouchables,
long movie then.
And Goodfellas.
And Goodfellas. Like, what
Cool.
time did we start? We
Which
started,
Goodfellas and Godfather are both long, especially Godfather.
Yeah, and we started early afternoon. We didn't finish till,
Yeah.
what, 10?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Well, and part of it was, Goodfellas, awesome movie. Godfather, it's like my favorite movie of all time. But Untouchables doesn't hold up quite as well, and somebody really didn't like it. And that was the last movie we watched, which probably helped make everything feel that much longer. So.
It just, yeah.
Sorry.
We'll
do a Mafia Day 2, and we're gonna watch movies by the exact same directors, and it'll be Casino, Godfather Part 2,
Okay.
and Scarface.
Okay.
Because Scarface was directed by Brian De Palma, who also did Untouchables. Coppola, of course, did Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then Scorsese did Goodfellas and Casino.
Yeah.
So.
It's just. If we do Star Wars, that reminds me of our Mafia Day. You're like, oh my gosh.
I don't think we could make it through 8 Star Wars movies in a day. That'd be 16 hours
I'll
at
watch
least.
the first 3 and then...
The next 5.
That's
Oh my god.
because I've seen the new ones recently, and I don't want to see
I do want to see...
episode 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I'll just watch the original.
I thought you were going to say the upcoming movie. I was like, what? What?
I do want to see... I want to sit down and watch back-to-back Rogue One and Episode 4, because I know they go right
That'd
into
probably
each
be
other.
good. Yeah.
So.
Do it in
Yeah.
chronological order.
Yeah, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it in chronological
That'd be cool.
order.
Oh man, did I just get suckered in?
Yes, you did.
Dang it.
Good. All right, everybody. We're going to go watch some Star Wars movies
No.
right now.
No.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.